Day 2 of fasting. Boy, am I pissed. Josh, what's your take?
Well, I do know that you just ordered a $80 sushi to your house. Uber Eats, everything came there, and then you didn't do anything with it. What's the
Throw it away.
rationale behind
Throw it away. It's just yeah, I'm not gonna throw it away, but yeah, I gave it to a friend. Yeah, that's such a shitty thing to do. Anyways, yeah, so this is kind of an impromptu video here, talking about fasting, whatever, right? So I'm big fan of it myself or whatever. I used to be much heavier. And what I find is that, the hardest part for, at least for the fasting, is when you initially get into fasting. And kind of the way I think about it is that you've got about 48 hours of easy to use kind of sugar in your body, about 24 hours of sugar supply in your skeletal muscles, and about another 24 hour supply in your liver. And so when you stop eating, you go through the first 24 hours, you feel a little different. And then when you go through the second 48 hours, which is kind of like where I'm at right now, that's when you start noticing a few changes, whatever, right? And like you'll feel a little woozy, you feel a little pissed off, like right now. And then when you start day 3, it's kind of when your body not freaks out, but your body says, yep, there's no more food coming in and we need to switch over to ketosis, which is just the fancy way of saying your liver kind of retools itself so that it starts burning the fat through and creating ketones, hence the name ketosis, whatever. And that takes maybe like day number 3. So if you get through the first 72 hours, you're pretty much good to go. The interesting thing is, as a male, mid to late 30s, about 250 or whatever, right? It's relatively easy, because I say this because Josh and I, we both have another good friend who's a little younger than I, but he's maybe like 150, 10%, 11% body fat, or whatever, right? And what's interesting from his perspective is that, like, when he does it, he can only go maybe 2 or 3 days. And
he's also someone who walks part of his job, like, so he's walking.
Yeah, very active.
And but the lower your body fat, the harder it's going to be, for sure. That's pretty much how it is for any sort of diet. I mean, that's just like the basics of human nature. I mean, if you're already have a low body fat, your body needs food more regularly.
Yeah. Well, anyways, and like the other thing too is that, like, that you can actually like see the change, like in the physique or whatever, right? In his case, like with
I can see it on myself too.
Yeah,
it is. Once you get to day 3, like right now, I'm probably 15% body fat. Usually, I try and maintain this year round. Once in a while, I'll cut down to 10% for a short duration of time, but I don't maintain that for too long, as I see my energy levels slow down at those levels.
Yeah, but the other thing too, I'll say for myself, is like when you get into the fasting, that's a little weird. But once you kind of get into ketosis and you kind of get settled into it, like your energy actually comes back, and like your mental clarity, particularly, I find, improves dramatically. The analogy I use is like driving your car in eco mode. Like, you can still do everything that you can do, but like if you run up a flight of stairs, throw yourself out of bed or whatever, right? You'll get a little winded, but you get a little winded.
Well, like 15 I think that's easy for you, Justin, like because you have the higher body fat. Like for myself, I like, for me, it's not really mental clarity, but like my actual joints, they start to get really weak.
Oh, yeah. So I'm glad you mentioned that too, Josh, because what I find is my hip flexors. Like I will get a soreness in the hip flexors or whatever, right? As he's getting onto it. And there's the other thing I'm really curious to see this time around, particularly if I, continue the song, which is looking like it's going to happen or whatever, is the triaminos, which is an injectable. But this is one of those things too, where it gives your body a bit of a buff in terms of keeping it or rebuilding itself or keeping itself built back together. I'm really curious to see how this
it really helps with your internal organs, your circulatory system. That's where I've seen a really big improvement, especially with my veininess. But veins are kind of just showing your kind of circulatory system functioning. That's kind of the main thing. And I've seen mine increase at a very high level. We'll have someone kind of on the show who knows this at such a high level and can explain the nitty-gritty extremely well, because there's no real downside. It's really just kind of taking your vitamins but injecting them, because a lot gets lost when you chew them. It is just highly ineffective. They're great to do, but maybe 10% gets dissolved. But when you actually inject it 100% and it goes straight to the blood, and you actually see the benefit instead of just thinking that you are getting the benefit because you're told that they're good for you.
Yeah, that's the case. And then also so we can see that works out. But anyways, like I said, maybe we'll do a few series on this, but yeah, I'm a little grumpy today. So clearly it's everyone else's fault but my own.
So Justin, walk through the actual rationale as to why you spent $80 on Uber Eats. The sushi gets to your house. Like why? Why do you do that?
Why I do? Yeah, okay. I wanted the points, right? No. What it is that one of the things, like, you kind of play like games with yourself, whatever, right? And so, like, especially like when you first get into it, like you say, oh, I really want food or whatever, right? But if you also know if you can, like, like it's kind of like internalization of, like, buy order or sell orders or whatever, right? Because what you do is you put through the order, and it's going to take like an hour or so, like an hour, or let's just say an hour or whatever, right, for the food to show up. And in that time, it's like, oh, you've changed your mind and done something else. So it's a way to kind of like, trick yourself, like, your mind, like, trick your gut or whatever, and then it shows up like, well, we'll put it in the fridge or whatever, right? And actually, I've got a buddy coming over. I'll see if I can give it to him. Yeah, so there's that. Sushi and tomahawk steaks, which is a form of ribeye. Those
did you order the tomahawk?
No, not today. Well, I mean, I have, but like not today.
But you haven't ate them. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I mean, definitely not in most people's budget to do something like that.
Yeah, I suppose not.
A tomahawk steak or
no, I've never, to be clear, I've never thrown a tom. And there's this too. Like I'll find someone, to give.
Well, I don't think it would be too difficult to give away sushi.
Yeah, Josh. Yeah, sushi would not be a good mix for you.
I'm allergic to life and all the food that comes with it.
Were you at the Capitol Grill in Miami when we ordered the veal tomahawk?
No. That was when I think that was you, Alex, Foz, and Nathan.
Yeah. That was the case.
What happened? Did you guys all split a tomahawk?
No, Nathan polished off a tomahawk all by himself. Good for him. Good for him. Yeah, he did.
That must have been pretty expensive. And Nathan's getting used to the luxurious lifestyle. You've corrupted him horribly.
Corrupting the youth. Yeah.
Justin actually started corrupting me as as the youth as well. It was kind of one of my first times going out somewhere really fancy, or actually, it was like one of my first few flights. Yeah. My first flight one of my first flights that I remember was going to see George Gammon, to kind of meet him at his birthday. Then one of my second or third flights was to go to Miami, where I met Justin. Then I still hadn't
all downhill from there.
Yeah. Once I went to Miami, my luxurious lifestyle just amplified massively. Before, I would never go out to eat, especially at fancy restaurants, and now it's way too part of my habitual weekly routine. If I'm out with Justin, the bill is never pretty.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say too, so in Miami, I remember it was Sunday night, you, Roberto, and I, we went over to to Texas to Brazil, which is a churrascaria.
It was my first time. I mean, I was asking Justin, I was like, I hate these fancy restaurants. Full disclosure, I'd never been to one before. So I was like, they never give any food, because all I saw was those clips online where you had those like super small dishes, and they would just drizzle and make it look pretty. And I thought that's what we were going to. And then Justin was like, oh, there's not going to be enough food, so you're going to want to order a lot. I was like, I'm already not excited. My whole bank account's going to be drawn. Why'd I even come here? And then, of course, the Brazilian steakhouse is unlimited, all you can eat, just massive amounts of steak. But they had this bar of sides. So I went up, I got as many sides as I could. I was like, I'm just going to fill up on sides, and it's not even going to be too bad. And the sides were incredible. I mean, that would have been a pretty fancy dinner for me at the time.
Well, see, that's where they get you, is with the Brazilian steakhouses. They want you to fill up on the salad bar, so you don't fill up on the meat. I mean, and just a good hack too. If you just want a salad bar, legitimately, you just want a salad bar, those salad bars are legit.
Yeah,
and you could go and just buy the salad. You can have the salad bar without the meat, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool,
so then all the meats came out, and of course,
I remember your eyes were just like, I was
like, what the hell is going on? I didn't even know this was a thing. They just walk around and hand out meat to you. Afterwards, the Texas to Brazil bathroom had a painful awakening.
Josh, we might be oversharing, but yes, if you're not prepared for the meat onslaught, it can be a little rough on the gut there. Well, that was good. And actually, last night, I had another buddy in town, and we were at Trulux. And let me tell you, if you want to get your fasting, done too, going out to fine dining, it's a good thing, because you just order an espresso or tea or whatever, right? But it's good there. And actually, back in the day, I did my first big fast. I was taking care of Ann, and she and I would still go out. And I remember she had a favorite restaurant. It was a Tex-Mex place called Papacitos down here in Houston, and they're known for the fajitas. And if you ever had fajitas before, or whatever, right? It's very aromatic, comes out, all sizzling. And so when you can cut up fajita meats, because at the time she was in the Alzheimer's, and so she could still chew, but I would have to cut up her food first. So this would come out, you're fasted, and you're getting blasted in the face with the good smells of all this stuff. Point is, if you can survive that, you can.
You know what I did on one of my most recent fasts? My grandmother loves children's food, pretty much all she eats. So I wonder where I get it from. So we had Fritos, and I whiffed open massive Fritos, and I was just smelling it. I would just open it up, take a hit, curl it back in, and I'd put it away. It was disturbing. And then I ended up breaking the fast later that night, I believe. Anyway, so
what'd you break it on? Lucky Charms?
No. It was not good. It was children food, probably. I think I started it good. I think I started it with some sort of egg dish. I had egg salad. I think I just had plain egg salad, and I'm like, you know what, this will go with some chips. So then I had some chips, and then I finished the egg salad, and I realized, you know what, all I'm gonna have is chips.
Maybe I can find a stick of butter in the fridge too and just eat that, raw.
Yeah, for me, fasting is almost never beneficial because I almost always break it in a horrible manner.
Once you get blowing and going, like beyond day 3, like it actually becomes pretty easy, and you will see yourself change.
Let's do like a 7-dayer.
I'm definitely down for that. And like the other thing too, I would say is when I broke my big fast, the 38-day fast, I think I ordered foie gras, which is like, it's like the worst thing you can order to break. That was not a good situation. I wasn't quite dead, but like my folks are up in Southern.
I'm pretty sure you're not dead.
Well, yeah, no, I was dead, but I got better. What was I gonna say? The folks are up in Southern Colorado, and so I wasn't quite at the point where I was calling them saying like, listen, one of you two need to get on a plane to come back to Houston to bury baby bird. But like, I was like one step away, and just even being like one step away from that is like a problem in itself. But we've got a very good friend of the family who was like, yeah, you need to like come over here and like help. So it was not a fun time. But anyways, what I did find too is when I started eating again, like even to this day or whatever, right? Like my palate changed. Like I used to love ice cream or whatever, right? But now like it's just too sweet. Like Josh, you've seen those like vegan, well, you probably haven't.
Yeah. See, I'm a pineapple guy. Like I used to not even
yeah.
But pineapple does my sweet and sour. Like it's like an all-in-one, just magical fruit. And then what I have been doing instead of ice cream, I like Greek yogurt. That's pretty low in calories. I think it's like 80 to 100 or something like that. But it's actually quite a bit of food. Like it'd be it's like a decent pellet. And then what I'll do is if I have a sweet tooth, I'll put a few like chocolate chips in there, and then I have kind of like a full dessert that's only like 150 200 calories.
Have you ever had kefir? Like I've gotten a real taste for kefir.
I don't even know what kefir is.
It's like milk, but like they put like the probiotics in it. So it's imagine like milk yogurt is maybe a way to describe it. But like this is like I'm talking about the palate change. It's like I don't like sweetened kefir. Like I like the plain stuff. I like it to be tangy or whatever, right? But kefir is like if you're like trying to like keep your like your gut flora and biomes in like check, like it's pretty good for that. One of the cheats you can do, or not cheats, but one of the things you can do to help like manage your mental clarity is like espresso. Like I'll do espresso, Celsius. I don't have a Celsius can here to show, but like I'll do a Celsius, which there's 10 calories in a Celsius, but whatever, like it gives you kind of a kick in the ass, especially like when you're getting into keto. But like you will see, like if you compare this video right here, if you do like a freeze frame, assuming however long you stay on it, let's say like like a month or whatever in the future, like you will see, like in my case, what will happen is like, see if I can point to it, like this will change, and like if I go like this, like I won't be able to do this anymore. Like it'll be much harder for me to do that.
Your body fat's decreasing pretty at a rapid rate. So one last thing, because if you guys are still here, you're probably suckers and you're in too deep already, as we've talked about nothing dense in this video at all. I was at the gym, left around 9:54. Pretty exactly, because I remember, because I was sprinting out the gym once I realized Chipotle closed at 10 and it was like a 30-second ride away. So I flew in the car, jumped right in, opened up the Chipotle door at like 9:57. They closed at 10, got an incredible burrito that I just ate, and I'm going to go let go of now.
Yeah, Josh, like like you've got so much how can I say this nicely in a YouTube friendly way? You got so much shower chowder, you got so much baby batter, you got so much whatever in like what they had, like when they have to take let's just take this to the back to warm it up. Like just know that like that ranch salsa or whatever, like I'm a little suspicious about that. But anyways.
All right, guys, make sure you guys all buy all the products that we do not have, and we're gonna shill you on just about everything that we can.
He is going to shill you.
Well, Jesus. we don't have anything to sell them yet. We also probably won't for a long past time, because our growth rate has been so incredible. I think we're up to 62 subscribers, Justin. Thank you everyone for watching, and if you do subscribe, thank you. I would not be surprised if everyone else unsubscribed after this video.